Welcome to I'm Not 20 Anymore. I am your girl, Shakira, the host of I'm Not 20 Anymore. This is the place where you need to learn, you need to grow, and you need to heal, and so much more. Again, this is I'm Not 20 Anymore podcast, and I welcome you. This is season 2. Yes, season 2. And this is a new chapter, also a new chapter for me in my life, because I have some big news. I have officially turned the big 4-0. Can you believe it? I'm 40. Oh my God. No, actually. So that's what I want to talk to you today about, is the fact that I have officially turned 40. I have officially relaunched I'm Not 20 Anymore, which is a place for women. It's a place for men, but we're talking about some real grown things that happen once you are over the age of 20. So if you are watching this, I want to thank you. If you are listening, I want to thank you. I appreciate you for taking the time out of your day today just to listen to me or watch me. Either way, whether this is YouTube or this is my podcast and your audio listening, thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's get the show started. First off, I wanted to, because it's a new chapter in my life, I really feel like it's important for me to share some things that I have learned, that I'm still learning, that I have learned in these 40 years. First of all, some days I still feel like I'm 15, 20. And I feel like I can remember like it was yesterday when I was 13 entering high school. So the fact that I'm 40, I used to think 40 was so old. Like, oh my God, that person's 40, like ill. But really, I'm here now. And 40 is not so bad. I'm embracing it. I'm learning every day. I'm growing every day. I'm learning who I am. And that's the most important thing. So I want to talk about 10 things, 10 things that I have learned and continuously learned. So let's start with number 1. I have learned that it is okay to live in the moment. Just take a moment to reflect, to every year around my birthday, I always do an evaluation of where am I going, what am I doing, what do I want to do for the rest of my life, and so forth. And I realized this year of all years, because 2020 we know it was locked down, and now the world's opening back up and everybody's saying we outside. I'm still not outside because honestly I'm still a little afraid of the coronavirus, but I'm inching my way out slowly. And so, number 1 is it's okay to take a moment to reflect on your past, reflect on your future goals, reflect on where you are today, and what I would have prepared my younger self. So I seen this on Instagram a week ago or so, and someone asked, what would you tell your 18-year-old self? And they said, describe it in 3 words. And my first thought was, listen to your heart. But sometimes the heart can kind of take you to the wrong place, and you're just like going with the moment or going in the flow and ending up in some relationships that your heart wanted, your mind said no, and your body may have also desired that individual. So I changed that to say, save your money. Save your money. One thing I didn't do when I was younger was think about the future as much as I could have. I lived in the now. I focused on that day only. And I wasn't thinking about what happens when you're 40, girl. What happens when you don't have that husband that you want, you don't have the children that you want, you're not in the career that you want. I always envision myself being um on mute, like how they have the music award shows. I always envision myself being behind the board, behind the scenes, being that person that only people in the industry knew, but the people on the consumers really didn't know my name. But here I am today, and I don't work for a I don't work, I'm not even in the entertainment industry at this time in my life. However, I have learned that it's important now to think about the future. And I know I'm 40, and you're like, you should have been thought about that. You're 40. But at the same time, I enjoyed life. I don't regret anything that I've done thus far. I just wish I would have went a different way about it. Like, I wish I would have thought about retirement, thought about saving if I wasn't going to work a 9 to 5 where I had a 401k and I'm just going to work and retire, because I knew that that was never the life that I wanted to live. But I also had to eat. So I spent a lot of time working since I was the age of 14. And that kind of, prepared my mind to, well, you're going to have to always work, instead of like, how do you get to a place where you're not working so hard? So that's the first thing. Make sure you take time to reflect. And it doesn't have to be your birthday. It can just be any day, but take that time to say, where do I want to be in another 5 years, 10 years? Come up with that plan. If you want to have $1 million in your bank account, come up with that plan. If you want to have children, come up with that plan. If things don't always go the way that you desire them to go, come up with that plan. What if it doesn't work? What if I don't end up in the industry I want to be in? But the bottom line is, have a plan. I went to college and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. But if I could have went back, I probably would have just went to like a trade school and learned something, and then, figured it out along the way. So that's number one. I can go on and on about that. So I'm going to stop there. Number two is realizing I can't be available for everyone all the time. Now, for some people that you might say, well, that's easy, I'm never available anyway. But for someone like myself, I love to help. I love to be there for the people I care about. I love to, my phone rings 24/7 and I'll answer it and I'll give free advice. And I'll talk to them and I'll spend my time. But sometimes you have to realize that your mental is important. Your mental space is important. Your mental health is important. And you really just can't always be there. So you have to kind of have some sort of balance where you are there for the people you need, but then you make sure that you're there for yourself too. I think that self-neglect is real. And I've experienced that over the last 10, 15 years, where I think I got to the point where I put everyone in front of me all the time, and I wasn't focusing on myself. So I let some things go, whether that was my health, my weight, my career goals, my future, anything like that. I really was just kind of doing what, not necessarily people pleasing per se, but forgetting to remember that I was also important. And I think that you have to know that you are important, you are valued, you are loved. And sometimes if you need that space or that time from people, whoever it may be, take it. Take it, take it, take it. Because without that, in the long run, you will be the one that ends up depressed, sad, down, suicidal, just unhappy, unhealthy, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, not spending that time with God that is necessary, that is key, that is vital, especially for me. I don't know about you, but definitely for me, building that relationship with God first and building that relationship with myself so I can know who I am and what I'm supposed to do. Number three. Number three is take one day at a time. And I say this because we live in a society where everything is microwavable. Everything is fast paced. Everything is, I need it now. I need it done. I need to accomplish this. I got to go here. I got to go here. We're in a entrepreneurial wave and social media, Instagram, watching what everybody else is doing, getting caught up with all of that, that you're comparing yourself, you're neglecting yourself, you're not taking the time to really just take one day at a time. And if you have a project or something that you're supposed to do, just work on that one thing. You don't have to do 1,000 things all at once, because I have learned that sometimes doing 1,000 things, you could end up doing none because you never master anything. You just know how to do everything. And I am the queen of that. Like, I know how to do a lot of little here and there things, but I have never really mastered anything because my attention span will just go off to the left. And next thing you know, I'm doing something different. And although you may be called to have 7 or 8 or 10 different businesses, and that is what you're supposed to do, wonderful. But first, focus on what is that first business that's going to launch, that's going to be the thing to kind of get all these other areas in order. And that's the most important. Number four, being busy doesn't mean you're busy. Now, this totally speaks to me, okay? Because I am always busy. I am always working, hustling, got 15 jobs. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But it's like, am I really busy? And what am I busy for? You know, without having that why behind you're busy, you're just doing things. You're just working and working and working and working, and you're really not seeing any results manifest in your life because you're so busy being busy that you can't stop to even smell what you're doing. And sometimes we don't give ourselves accolades for the things that we have accomplished, the things that we have done. Like, you have done a lot. You have accomplished things. You may have degrees. You may have raised children. You may have lost weight. You may have it's just a variety of things that you could have done. You could have climbed the ladder at your job, whatever the case may be. But sometimes we don't know how to celebrate those things because we're so busy being busy that we can't give our own selves accolades. And then we're looking for it from other people. And really, you may not have that support. And that's the real honest thing. You may not have that support. So you have to be your support system sometime. You have to be your support system sometime. And I'll say that again because it is so vital to know that you have to take your time and find out, why am I so busy? And am I busy doing what I love, or am I busy just being busy? And this last year, I have realized that I've been busy doing a lot of nothing that hasn't really gotten me where I really truly want to go. Now, you may be where you want to be, and that's excellent, but make sure that your busy is the right busy and not taking you in the wrong direction where you just walking in circles over and over again. Number 5, be okay with where you are. Now, I say that to say, because sometimes, me being the big 4-0, I will say I'm supposed to be further. I'm supposed to have more in my bank account. I'm supposed to be connected with so many different people. I'm supposed to do this and that and this. And it's like, be okay where you are. If you had to move backwards, be okay with that, and know that there's a lesson in moving backwards. There's growth in moving backwards, believe it or not. There's hope in moving backwards, but sometimes you have to move backwards to take 8 steps forward. And sometimes we don't like to admit that, but it's true. So it's like, be okay where you are. And if you don't have the house that you want, if you don't have the car that you want, remember these are material things. If you don't have the husband or spouse or loved one or or mother or father that you want, be okay with that. Find that in someone else, find that in you. Be that for someone else, because sometimes that's maybe the solution, that you may need to be that mothering figure to someone else because you didn't have it. You may need to be that father figure to someone else because you didn't have it. You may need to be that thing for someone else that you didn't have. And that is really vital. It's vital, it's necessary, and you don't know what's going to come from it. So it makes more sense for you to just go ahead and try and do that, but be okay where you are, because we spend a lot of times complaining and moaning and groaning. And I can say it's me, I'm that, it's me, that meme, it's me. It's not for a friend, it's me, because sometimes I'll find myself, I'll complain about something and I'm like, wait a minute, God's got me this far. What are you doing? You didn't get here by yourself, or maybe you do have the support system and you got the help from parents or friends or family, whatever the case may be. You did it, you got here. And that doesn't mean that your situation can't change, because in 24 hours, anybody's life can change. I've seen it happen, and it can happen to you too. Number 6. Sorry, I got my little notes here. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Number 6 is there's nothing wrong with a little therapy. Now, I say that because I was not raised in a household that encouraged seeing someone. That meant you were crazy. I'm Black woman. I am a Black woman, and the Black household that I grew up in did not say it was okay to go see someone, because that means that you are mentally ill. And to a degree, you might be mentally ill, but not in the sense that makes you have a disability, in the sense of the fact that you need someone else outside of your circle, outside of your family, to talk to, that's unbiased, that won't come up with an opinion based on who they think you are or who they want you to be. And also, having an outsider look into your life sometimes can be the best thing, because they may be able to solve a problem you've had for years and you did not realize that. Hey, I didn't realize I was doing that. Hey, I didn't realize all my relationships are trauma based, or all my relationships are toxic, or the people that I meet or the men that I date, they all have the same issues I have. And I have even uncovered that myself, that the people that I was choosing to be in relationships with were just like me, which means that, like, that's not good, because we can't be the same. Someone has to be the strength and the other has to be the other strength, so that we can be whole together, because we come together whole, not because it's a half and half equaling a whole, because it doesn't. It equals incomplete. It equals a relationship that doesn't communicate or doesn't know how to show each other affection and love the right way. So if that's you, it's okay for you to pick up the phone. Now, there's for women, there's something called blackgirlstherapy.com. There's a few other sources out there. There's some for men as well. Or if you have insurance, call up your insurance and find out what they cover. And if they cover some therapists in your area, they will let you know. I do believe in therapy. I do believe in Jesus. I do believe that he put people in place to also do some of the work to help get you where you need to go, because this thing called life is not easy at all, and you can't do it by yourself. So that's my 6th point. Number 7, God is with you no matter what. Whether, there's a scripture, if you make your bed in hell, he will be there with you. That may not be the exact quote of the scripture, but um, he will be there. So if you make a decision today and it happens to not be the best decision, he'll still be there with you to see you through it so that you can make the right decision. Now, I don't know what you believe in. I don't know what your belief is. I can only speak from my perspective. I do believe in God. I do believe in Jesus Christ. But I will say, for me, knowing that he's with me, even when I don't do everything right, even when I mess up, even when I'm doing something that I shouldn't be doing, he's with me. And knowing that will help you get through this thing called life. I've been here for 40 years and it has not always been an easy journey for me because I've struggled in a variety of areas. And let me just pause here. This podcast is all about transparency. It is all about helping you. So there's some things that I am going to personally share about me because I want to help you. I want to help someone else. I want to help someone not go through it. I want to help someone get through it. And I may have guests on here that's going to also do that as well. And they may help me see some things before I even get there. So we're going to talk about a lot, but I wanted to pause there to say that because I am me and that's all I can be, which gets into my point number 8. Number 8 is about being you, being authentically you. I have learned that you cannot be anybody else. You were uniquely created by God. There's nobody else out there like you. There's nobody else out there like me. I might have my moments. I might get a little sassy, but I'm very sweet. I'm very nice. But I won't take any mess from anyone. And I'm not going to be pushed over. And that may be a lot of people out there, but that may not be a lot of people out there. Regardless of what, I may be a little goofy at times. I may be a little quirky, and I may also be a little introverted and like to go into my little hut and don't talk to anybody because that's me. But that's who I am. And a lot of times, sometimes you're scared to be who you are because you weren't raised to be who you are, to be expressive, to show who you are, to be creative, to just do whatever it is that God has put in your heart, in your mind, in your body to do. But sometimes you weren't raised like that, so you shelter everything. I grew up a very, very shy kid. And I've come to realize, I think being shy is because you're afraid. Shyness comes from being afraid to let people see your light, to let people see who you are. And I realized at the age of 40, I will no longer not be myself. And I have moments where, or bouts where I'll go into my shy bag and get shy a little bit. And then I have to just do a little say a prayer and get back up because I know it's not easy. It's not easy for me to even sit and do this right now. It's not easy for me to sit in front of a camera and talk to people if anyone watches me or anyone listens to me. But I know I have to do it because I know why I'm doing it. It's not about me. It's about you. It's about those that I'm going to reach. It's about those that I will affect. And so my story, who I am, matters. And that's why I do this. Number 9. Number 9 is always listen to that small little voice inside that scares you. And for some, they'll say it's your subconscious. For others, they'll say it's the Spirit of God. They'll say it's a whisper of God. I myself did not always listen to that little voice. I think I would be further in life if I did. But I didn't because I got fearful. And fear will draw you away from your purpose. Fear will take you out because you're so afraid. There's people who are afraid to leave their house right now. Now, they were afraid before COVID, but now that COVID has happened, they really don't want to leave the house. And fear will bring anxiety, and it will bring sleepless nights. It will bring so much. And a lot of times I did not really fully go hard for my dreams because of fear. I was afraid to move to California. I was afraid to start that business years ago. I was afraid to open up to people because I didn't want anyone judging me. I was afraid to share my story. I was afraid just because I didn't know what reaction people would give. And so when you got that small voice inside of you and it says to do something that's good, not the voice that is negative, not the voice that says it's going to kill yourself, not the voice that says kill someone other, not the voice that says to do something harmful to yourself or to another, but the voice that says go after your dreams, the voice that says get up and do that video, the voice that says write that blog, write that book, the voice that says start that business, the voice that says go get that promotion, the voice that says go ahead and master what your craft is. That voice, that voice that pushes you because you are somebody important. That voice. So I'm learning to listen to that voice. Hence why I'm not 20 anymore, it's restarted. Because I'm listening to that voice. Because if I had to listen to me, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing anything. I'm discouraged. So this is a real raw episode, and they're going to continue to be raw, not raunchy, unless it calls for it, but not really. And lastly, number 10 is 40 is the new 20. Age cannot allow me to age quickly. Age cannot allow me to age quickly. So if you're 30, if you're 40, if you're 50, if you're 60, you don't have to age quickly because of your age. Because it's all in the mind, it's all in the body. You are the age that you act. Now, if it's immature, if you're 40 and you're still acting like you're 15 and you're out here doing things that a 15-year-old would do and you're getting in trouble, then yeah, something's wrong with that. And you really need to go to a therapist. I say that with love. But if you are 40 and you want to feel youthful again, you got to exercise, right? You got to rest. Shoot, I try my best to go to bed and get a sufficient amount of sleep. That is so hard because I'm a late nighter. I'm a late night worker. I thrive in the late night. So I got to figure out how to have a lifestyle that allows me to sleep in late so I can stay up late and work late and not be tired. That means I got to eat more vegetables and more protein, and I got to watch my diet and what goes in and what I put in my body. Now I take vitamins, which I never thought I would have to take vitamins, but I take multivitamins. I take all this. I know I'm telling y'all a lot, but it's real, like, because I want to keep my body. As you age, your body is also, not deteriorating, but it's getting older. Your bones are getting older. You can't do things like you used to. Like, I have bad knees. But I want to strengthen them. So I'm looking into getting a trainer to kind of help me strengthen my knees and get back to a youthful space, because I want to live longer. I want to live longer and stretch my life. And I don't want someone to look at me and say, oh my God, you're 40, you look 50. Like, no. Not the bags under the eyes and the wrinkly neck too early. I don't want to age too early. but that's all in how you choose to live. And so I say that to say, like, you have to find joy in what you're doing. You have to find joy in what you love to do. You have to kind of relearn. I'm learning that I really haven't learned how to, I really don't have fun that much. And so when someone asks me, like, what do you do for fun? I kind of draw this blank because I'm like, fun? What's fun? I love to travel and I consider that to be fun, but fun today at 40 and fun at 20 was different. 20, I was probably dancing and partying, and I was probably in the club and I was hanging out all night, and that may not have been fun to another 20-year-old, but it was fun to me during that time. Or pulling all-nighters and having breakfast in the morning and just, whatever, hang with friends and laughing and talking. And, so for me, I'm like, okay, I got to reintroduce fun in my life because I really haven't had that in a while, because all I do is work, and all I do is grind, 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 grind. But it's like, sometimes you got to sit back and just enjoy life. And sometimes you got to sit back and and just sit back in your feelings and cope with what you need to cope with, deal with what you need to deal with, because life is happening. People are dying, people are hurting, people are mourning. And so it's okay to do all of that. You don't have to brush it off. And so as I get older and I'm in this 40 club, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, whatever. And I'm in this 40 club, it's like now it's time to redo, relaunch, do it all over again, but do it better this time. Make it better, make it last, make it count. And who cares what people have to say about it? Who cares what they think about it? The most important thing is, are you happy? Are you joyous? Because happiness is temporary, joy is everlasting. Do you wake up with joy? Do you hate your job? And if so, come up with a plan so that you can leave. And that's really my takeaway, is now is just about planning for what I do want, saying no to what I don't want, not being afraid or ashamed or fearful, but just living and being me and loving on people like I love to do. And I will still continue to help people, and I will still continue to do what I need to do. But in the end, it's just all about, growth, maturity, spiritually, and loving on you, love on you. Have those self-care days, and that's for men and women. We all need it. Have those days where you know that you can take that time to yourself, just to kind of regroup and make sure that the chaos and the things that's happening with your loved ones and your family members are not becoming so heavy of a burden that you can't carry it, because you're carrying their stuff and your stuff. So be a burden bearer, but you don't have to carry it. You can just take it on so that you can find a solution to get rid of it. I hope this this first episode of season 2 has blessed your life. I thank you for watching. I appreciate you. And as always, have a blessed day, blessed night, and continue to be you. Stay true. Peace.